The first presidential debate is now in the books.
It was the first face-off of the 2024 election year, pitting President Joe Biden up against former President Donald Trump.
Now 27 News Washington correspondent Maddie Beer-Temple is live in D.C. with the highlights. Maddie, good evening.
Good evening, David and Rebecca. The two candidates traded attacks throughout the debate while they were answering questions about domestic and foreign policy. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump faced off in a debate filled with substance and stumbles.
The total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Candidates sparred over abortion 2 years after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Trump praised the court.
What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing.
President Biden promised to restore Roe v. Wade if reelected.
No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions.
Both candidates also turned to personal attacks at times.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
His son is a convicted felon.
President Biden hit Trump on Trump's New York felony convictions and loss of a civil case over an affair with an adult film actress.
You have the morals of an alley cat.
I didn't have sex with a porn star.
On immigration, Trump said President Biden isn't doing enough to secure the border.
We are living right now in a rat's nest.
When asked about the war in Ukraine, Trump said he would stop the fighting.
I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th.
Now, both candidates will be back on the campaign trail tomorrow, with President Biden heading to North Carolina and former President Trump will be in Virginia. In Washington, I'm Maddie Beer-Temple.
Now, Maddie, how did the new rules go with this debate? Because we know the mics were muted at times, right?
Right, that was a new rule this time, and it seemed to cut down on interruptions. We did see some instances where former President Trump and President Biden tried to speak, but were not able to complete that thought because of that new rule. So it seemed like a fairly civil debate with those rules.
Maddie, thank you for that live recap from D.C.